Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're doing the European outlook for today's second video. So as also on a Thursday, we're going to have a detailed look at the weather for next week, 10 days across Europe, and I shall get on back with you in a moment. Just say that first, the video already say was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. There's a 10 to 14 there with all of the regular features coming up for you later on this afternoon as well. Please like, share and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Right, okay, let's start off the situation across Europe today. So we've got an area of low pressure in the Atlantic coming to UK and Ireland. More low pressure as we push up towards Scandinavia and Nordic regions. So there's a ridge extending from Spain, Portugal through many western, central and also eastern parts of Europe. Very mild with the upper air temperatures. Again, today, anything cold is really retreating right way back to far north of Scandinavia and the northwest of Russia. A little bit on the chilly side over on the eastern side of Europe, but generally those upper air temperatures are looking really mild. We've got outbreaks of rain through parts of the UK and Ireland, a few showery bursts in northwest France, northern west Spain and Portugal. And there's some rain, sleet and snow through parts of Norway and up into northern parts of Finland and northwest of Russia. And a few showers over on the eastern side of Europe, particularly close to the Black Sea. That said, a lot of dry weather under that area of high pressure all the way from Spain, Portugal, right way up to the western portion of Russia. And it's very mild in many areas, especially in the west of Europe, Germany, the Low Countries, France, Spain, Portugal. Seeing no temperatures into teens Celsius. Also into the UK and Ireland, milder than average through there. Temperatures into mid-teens Celsius in many areas. It is colder or cooler across the far northern and also eastern portion of Europe, and even there it's probably not as cold as you expect it to be at this time of the year. Tomorrow, Friday, see low pressure in the ascendancy across the northwest Europe, meanwhile high pressure across more southern and eastern parts of Europe, and those upper air temperatures again looking really mild in many areas. Just some colder air begin to dig southwards into far north of Finland and Sweden, and also far north of Norway as well. But overall, it's another mild or very mild, not quite warm day. Further showers and longer spells of rain through western portions of Europe again, through France, into the Low Countries, into Germany, up to Denmark, and in southern parts of Norway, Sweden as well. There will be some showery bursts there. Further showers likely through the UK and Ireland, possibly wet through east parts of Scotland. Some wintry showers may be heading southwards from Finland into Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, but many eastern and southern parts of Europe again looking mainly dry tomorrow, and those temperatures are generally on the mild or very mild side in most areas. Hold on. So sorry, everybody. Those temperatures are generally on the mild or very mild, if not warm side in most areas. Looking particularly mild and warm through France, Low Countries, Germany, also into parts of Poland as well. One of those yellow shadings getting into the far southern portion of Sweden as well. That's a very, very far north of Europe looking colder, and maybe some colder air trying to dig southwards to Scotland as well. That takes us to Saturday. Low pressure is sitting over Scandinavia, so it looks quite unsettled through there. Also, that low begins to push a little bit further southwards into towards Germany and the Low Countries. At the same time, high pressure, though, is through the west and southwestern part of Europe and over on the east side of Europe, with more low pressure heading in from the Atlantic. Those upper air temperatures looking mild in most areas, but we have got some cold air digging southwards through Scandinavia, so particularly into central parts of Sweden and central Norway. It's turning colder through there and into some central parts of Finland as well. Although down to the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, certainly Lithuania there, it looks quite mild. And most other parts of Europe generally on the mild side as well, but some cooler air drifting southwards in towards Germany, Denmark and the Low Countries, possibly just flirting with northern and eastern parts of Britain as well. So we've got rain, sleet and snow sitting over parts of Scandinavia and some wet weather extending in towards the Baltic Sea states as well. Showery bursts through eastern parts of Germany and Poland, then going southwards into Austria and moving southwards in towards Hungary and then down to the Balkans as well. We see some showers through there, some showers possible through Italy, but much of Western Europe looking mainly dry. And the eastern portion of Europe, again around Black Sea, mainly dry there. Have got more wet weather eventually arriving through Ireland and into western parts of Britain Saturday afternoon, and temperatures a little bit cooler maybe for the UK, Ireland and Low Country, but still generally mild or very mild across western parts of Europe. Germany perhaps a little bit cooler, but Poland very mild, and northwards, well, it does look a bit colder then when you get up into Scandinavia and Nordic regions. Moving through into Sunday, well, high pressure begin to weaken a little bit, so some lower pressure in the north and east of Europe, and also some lower pressure coming in from off the Atlantic. The upper air temperatures are mild across many southern, central, western parts of Europe, but it does look a little bit colder in the north and the northeast. Showery bursts on the far eastern side of Europe, and some wet weather into the west. Some heavy rain possible around the Bay of Biscay, northern parts of Spain, Portugal, maybe. But again, the emphasis is on quite a lot of dry weather for Sunday, and temperatures mildest across southern, western, southwestern portions of Europe, but quite cold in the far north and northeast. Heading on into Monday, well, low pressure deepens in the Atlantic, and high pressure generally starting to weaken across the continent. Coldest in the far north of Europe, otherwise relatively mild or warm. There's upper air temperatures, showers along as well as rain through the Low Country, Germany and back to France, and quite wet weather through there, and some wet weather over on the far eastern side of Europe, affecting parts of Ukraine and Belarus. But to the south of that, there's sort of dry weather through much of the Mediterranean and much of northern Europe, looking relatively dry on Monday as well. Cold across the far north of Europe, otherwise mild, very mild or warm in most areas. That takes us through into Tuesday, where the ridge looks like it's trying to reform again across much of the continent, with quite deep low pressure then in the Atlantic. The upper air temperatures there looking mild across many central, southern and western parts of Europe, but cooler in the far north and northeast, so not especially cold. Wet weather from Germany through to Poland, southwards to Austria, Hungary as well. More showers possible into the Balkans and down towards Greece and Turkey, also Italy. But again, the central western portion of the Med should have a lot of dry weather, although wet weather will be extending from the Atlantic up towards the UK, Ireland and the far northwest of France, and mostly much of northern Europe looking very dry again on Tuesday. The coldest temperature in the far north, otherwise it's a mild, very mild or warm scene across much of Europe. Heading through into Wednesday, higher pressure is strengthening across the north and the northeast, starting to block up actually these areas of low pressure in the Atlantic. The upper air temperatures looking very mild or warm through western portions of Europe, always a little bit cooler further north and east, but not especially cold. A lot of dry weather under that area of high pressure. It could be some heavy showers through Italy, possibly over the Adriatic into the Balkans, and then southwards in towards Greece and Turkey, with some heavy rain coming in towards parts of Spain and Portugal, and some wet weather back in towards the UK and Ireland as well. Many other areas were looking reasonably dry. On Wednesday, mild, very mild or warm across western portions of Europe, coldest in the far north once again. And then high pressure is dominating across northern and northeast Europe into Thursday, and the Azores high begins to start reaching in to the west of Europe as well. Upper air temperatures show the mildest of those upper air temperatures begin to ease a little bit further eastwards. It starts to turn a bit cooler maybe in the far north and northwest of Europe. Looking very wet across parts of France, down in Spain, Portugal and into central part of the Mer through Thursday. So turning increasingly unsettled next week across southern Europe and into the Mediterranean. Driest weather under the area of high pressure for further north and northeast of Europe happen to be. And the mildest of potential beginning to get squeezed a little bit further eastwards in towards Germany and the Low Countries as well as eastern parts of France. Perhaps a bit cooler through western France and into Ireland and the UK, but the coldest temperatures again will be in the far north and northeast of Europe. Much of Eastern Europe looking generally mild as well. Just when you want today 10, so that's Friday 22nd of March, high pressure begin to reach in from the Azores, and the trends I think through the weekend of 23rd, 24th March could see high pressure strengthening to the southwest, so maybe turning drier and staying mild across the western portion of Europe, most unsettled weather, perhaps more in the north and the eastern part of Europe. Right, so that's European Outlook for this week. If you found the forecast interesting and informative, then please like, share and subscribe. Make sure you do that, and we'll do it all over again next Thursday. We're going to be back a little bit later on with your 10 to 14 tab. That will include all of the regular features. Come back for that in a little while. But for the European Outlook for this week, that's all for now, and thanks so much.